All right, a little cold weather inspiration here. Really cold outside, and so I found this down in the barn about 6 months ago. This is a carpenter's axe, is what some people call it, and it was at an auction. I bought this about 30 years ago, so I had a big box of hammers and stuff. I dug this out, and I realized how light this was and how handy this would be to take on a camping trip. You know, you can drive tent stakes, use this as a hammer. You can pull things out of the ground, nails, whatever, tent stakes out of the ground, and it has a really sharp axe blade. And clean this up, oiled it up. It's really cool, and I'm going to weigh this here in just a minute, but it is terribly light. And I thought what I'd do is make a Kydex sheath out of it. I've never done that before, but if you're going to drop this in a backpack, it'd be really handy to have something over that to protect that blade, protect your backpack, that sort of thing. So I bought some stuff online. Need to make a press from this thermo stuff, and then I got some Kydex sheets to cut out. I already kind of experimented around on making a form to go around my sheath. I bought some rivets, some Chicago screws just for the heck. This is a little punch to spread out the rivets. And so anyway, that's where we're at, and stay tuned. This is probably my first of like 7 evolutions of this thing. But the way you cut this stuff, first time I've ever done it just now, and I saw these guys doing it online, is I tried this cheese knife first on my cutting board, and that didn't do worth a darn. So then I got this knife out, and I put a new blade in there, and you just put a lot of down pressure, score it a couple times, and then you can just kind of pop that stuff loose. So just score this a couple times. There. So I ordered this little tool online along with these rivets. And so it's got a little piece on the bottom. You can see that. And that eye of the rivet sits in there. And then you put this here and you hammer it and waller it out, as they used to say. All right, so I've got these rivets all in there. And here's the pretty finished side that came from the factory. And then these are the ones I flattened out, and pretty decent. Man, I did this this summer, put this thing together just with scrap wood that I had laying around, and having this heavy flat surface that I could put that piece underneath there to help spread out my rivet. That was really handy. But having a good solid surface rather than wood, maybe you get down and do it on the concrete if you're at home. I'm not sure, but this turned out pretty good. Anybody that's got a shop, garage, whatever, you keep this stuff, and like I could use that one day, and you have piles of this and you're stacking all over the place and you can't fight your way through it to save your life to get something behind it, and you trip over it. Well, this is one of those days. I think I kind of dug around, and for this press I might need this piece. Worked out this time. I kind of cleaned things up this summer, and I had all these hinges, and I put them in a box. See, it says hinges, and it's full of hinges, all kinds. Old screen door hinges, galvanized hinges. I'm trying to find the right one that's going to work. It took me 15 minutes to find this box because I organized everything. I knew where it was for 7 years, right underneath there. So what I've done here is I'm getting this hinge installed so I can shut my material, compress it, but I've kind of pre-compressed this hinge side by cutting this a little bit shorter than this material so that the back is already compressed a little bit, and then when you roll up the front and squish it down, you've already got some compression in the back to even it out. So it's more of an even squeeze. At least that's my goal.
I've had this in the oven for a couple minutes. Maybe that's too long. I do not know. A lot softer than what it was. It's crazy different. It looks like where I want it. That's got a little spring in it for a screen door, so I don't know whether to put it in here this way or what way. And this little tab, I'm gonna mess with that later with a heat gun. I'm gonna have to trim this up. I can already tell that was a little bit of a design flaw, but live and learn, my friends. Get that sucker tucked in there. And we're gonna clamp her down. Clamp and cool. All right, I've got it all cinched down. Cross your fingers. All right, the big unveiling. All right. So that's how it comes out. Goes right in. Boy, it fits pretty tight. Here is my completely finished press. And I just went ahead and made some additional modifications. I put a handle here on top just so I could carry it from place to place, put it in, vehicle or machine, take it to a buddy's house, take it up to my house. There's a closer view of that porch door hinge that's got a little spring in there. It was an oddball. I only had one of them. Put a little closure on the front. This is the only new thing that I had that I didn't already have. Oh, those foam pieces, I had to buy those. Excuse me. So you unlock that, open it up. There's what you got inside. There's kind of the remnant of my last project. Still not finished. We're going to try to finish that today. And in order to finish that thing, and that's what I've got so far. Corners need to be trimmed, rounded off. This little flap that I'm going to use as a holder. I'm going to trim that down a little bit, reheat that with a heat gun. And in order to trim these, I've never done it before, so I'm going to use some scrap pieces, practice with a Dremel, a pair of tin snips, practice with a sander, sanding it, just to work out the kinks. Might be the only way to warm my fingers, but I'll use it on this. So I got that thing a little warm, and I'm pulling that tab up there by the top of that hammer part of the camper axe. I'm just going to let it solid up. It's already done it. So now it's like a little we'll see how this works. A little trigger pull, just pull it out, slide my axe out, right? In theory. I'm finished. And this was a lot of fun. What we wound up with was this camp axe. I call it an axe. Some people call it a hatchet. There's some technical reasons why they would be different. I'm calling it a camp axe. And all you got to do is hit that little button right there, pop it off, and you're ready to roll. Put it back in there. And there's very, very minor slippage or movement here. That thing is rock solid on there. It's not going anywhere. Think about this color orange. Orange is all about visibility. And when this is at the bottom of your backpack, you're going to find it, no problem. Pull it out. You're out in the field, put that down, or you drop it. You're going to find it. Black or some other color is a lot harder to find. So I love the color orange for those reasons. This is something you can do. This is my very first attempt, and anybody can do this. And now I'm trying to think, what else am I going to use Kydex for? Because there's a bunch of different uses, different guns, different knives, different tools. I've got another axe I think this would be great for. Give it a try, have some fun, and good luck.
Oh, Sarah, here we go again. I can't get past the pain, the water won't set.